Okay, so starting out in outer space, you're gonna take an extra trip where you return to hub after grabbing 2 yarns. I like to do this on keyboard for multiple reasons. So starting out, you want to run up and right, kind of. I run like up, and then as soon as I load in, I start running right, so that I come like over here, and then I DSJ off of this and get this yarn. Then I turn around. This boat is really stupid, and like, you can get stuck on the sides of it and not be able to walk up, but like if you sprint from the straight front, you can like make it through and then turn to the right and try for a DSJ. And if you can't do that, just grab the yarn, do a jump, and then like jump off or something like that. And then you want to get this ice yarn in here. This is what allows us to get the ice hat early on in the run. The easiest way for me to do it is I just get up here, because you want to boop on top of this thing, like that. And then you can clip through. I think it's possible to do it from underneath, but it's like really stupid. Yeah, like that. I don't even know how much faster that'd be. But yeah, I land back here, I do a sprint jump dive cancel. You want to jump, to make sure you actually grab onto it, you don't want to jump too far back, because sometimes you like won't make it. Like that. So I don't jump like straight parallel to it, but I jump kind of like this angle, and then jump towards it, and then that should line you up. Like that. And then, once you're doing that, you need to wait until Hat Kid is like right here. If you hit the ground, you'll lose your state, and it'll mess you up. But also, if you boop too high, you'll do this. And that's not very good. So yeah, right there. And then you hit space and you hold forward and you walk through. And then the other reason I do this on keyboard is because once you grab that, you immediately return to hub. Then you have to re-enter for like a bunch more yarn. So the funny thing about this yarn route, this is basically just like a combination of the new outer space route and the one, or not the 1.0, like the old outer space route with the red vault. You just like get both of the yarns from each. And then on top of that, you get umbrella yarn from Golden Vault. That one's a bit weird, but the rest of them have like been in the Silver route before. So you start off the same, come up here, sprint jump dive cancel, run to the right, hit this mud. This is what we currently do now. Whoops. Except when you hit this umbrella, you want to do the old movement, where you come up here, you get this ticket. You can either like dive boost and grab that ticket, but I think that's fast. But what I do is I just run off, double jump, and then do that, because I still get it. And then also I can set up here, because I need to DSJ off of this right after. The other reason I do it is because, like, I always lag, like, right here. If I do this dive boost, I, like, won't be aligned correctly ever. So even if I wanted to do it, I'd probably mess it up a ton. When you do that, DSJ. And it can be really hard to set up this DSJ, like, from that approach. So you can kind of, like, take a moment to prep it. If you're used to doing it, like, for me, just because I've spent so much time doing it this way, where you, like, run up from the side, if you want, you can, like, angle yourself over in that direction, whatever, and then this is, like, still one of the hardest parts of this route. And then you double jump over here, get this ticket, dive onto that. Once this yarn comes out, run over here, and you want to grab onto the left side of this plank. This plank can be really stupid. From the center, you just straight up won't grab it. Sometimes works, but it's not reliable enough, so I don't bother with it. Over here, too, it sometimes doesn't work. I like this end the most out of all of them. And also, if you land on this end, like if you're over here, you have to get up to that yellow umbrella. So you'll have to like dive over here, and then you have to jump like that, and it's slow. But if you land here, you can do this, like that. And then you can dive cancel as soon as you vault. Similar to the old movement. Then this is the same, you get this, come up here. And then once you're here, you want to hold like down and left and come like this way, and then dive cancel just before you hit the ground. And then you land above that cage, get that old cage yarn, do the old movement here. Then you turn around, and this is different. DSJ off of this, and hopefully you can make that ledge grabless. And then kind of in the direction of this pawn, dive boost off. And you want to start holding back so you don't completely fall off, but not too early. Like now. Once you've cleared over this second floor right here. And then you come back up from the umbrella. Sprint jump over here or DSJ. And then the rest is normal. And that's it. And I'm gonna go back on my main file to show you the Mafia Boss quick kill. Because that's the only other thing that changes. Oh yeah, and by the way, you make Brewer Hat like normal there when you enter that cutscene. That's exactly the same. And the menuing is the same too. It's pause right A, right A. Yeah, pretty much. Alright. And if you want to practice this, this is how I recommend you do it. This is like the earliest entry you can get into Mafia Boss. So yeah, you do fight skip like normal. You enter the fight. I'm just gonna treat this like it's the normal fight. And you still need to make your ice hat. The place that I make it that I think is best, you can get a whole hat crafted during a sandbag attack and like not miss any opportunities to attack. But because they're random when they happen, I don't recommend it. What I do recommend you do is you count all of the attacks you hit on the first phase, and then when he transitions into the second phase, that's when you make your hit. Oh, well, he's in Death Cycle. I guess when you enter from Boss Rush, he's in Death Cycle. Okay, so instead of 4 attacks, he's only gonna do 2, I guess. But basically, once he does that phase transition, and you don't need to be perfect on your timing either, just once you see him doing it. Yeah, I like hit him, and then I come up here, and then it would be pause right A, right. It would be right here, would be the ice hat, and then you make it. And then there's a phase transition, you chill out for a little bit, and then maybe about now the hat is made, and then you can attack again. Then you hit him. Hopefully you get good RNG here. Then for his last attack, which he is stalling to do, you want to be standing right here on this little mound. Okay, then you run over here, the part comes quick, get out ice hat, stand right next to this line, this like tiny little black line in the floor. It's under like the very edge of my pause screen. And I'm gonna freeze frame this using screenshots. I don't know if you can see me drawing on stream, but there's this little pillar right here on the right end of the castle. Whenever he crosses over that, when he jumps towards you, don't die. You jump and then immediately ice hat. Like do a little short hop, wait a brief moment, and then hit it. If you try to jump and immediately ice hat, like right away, it won't work for whatever reason. But yeah, you just do that once he passes this thing when he's flying through the air. Start. So I can show you what that looks like. Okay, you jump and ice hat. And then he will knock you down left if you time that right. And when that happens, right when you hit the ground, like now, you need to tech and then pause. It's like when you take big falls in this game, you like bonk onto the floor. You can tech the fall by hitting A to make it faster. That is required for this trick, and it needs to be fairly quick. And then immediately after you tech, you have to pause. So this may take you a couple tries to figure out, it's pretty hard. There, tech, then you pause. And from there, if you timed that right, the rest is easy. You just go into your hat menu, click on Brewer, hold down your action button. So right now I'm holding shift, and then you just unpause.
Mafia!
And I'll do that one more time. Because it goes quick. The tech is very important. But like, once you've got all these visual cues down, this is fairly consistent. Like, I've only messed this up in one run today. Dude. Sorry about that. Nightbot is stupid. I added him in for the Archithon command, and now he's just going AWOL. Yeah, it sucks.
I've got your friend captured, and soon you will both perish.
KCO. And right here. Come over to this line, like one step next to it or so. Like right in front of it. Jump ice hat tech. Fish to brewer. This might not work. It's important that you're actually colliding with him. Like if your positioning is off, or if he thinks you're flying too far, and you're like right next to him instead of right on top of him, then it won't work. Because what makes it work is that you're colliding with him. Yeah, I can go back and highlight that, but that's about it for the new route. It's pretty brief. It only affects outer space and down at the Mafia. It technically does affect some later levels because there are other yarns that you no longer have to grab, but that only serves to make them easier. So like in DBS, shut up Snatcher, in DBS you don't have to grab the yarn on top of the roof anymore, and you don't have to grab the yarn in the chest. You can do the ice hat slingshot. Just look at usernames IL to see that. It's like not super complicated as long as you know how to do ice hat slingshots. And then in Well, you don't need to get the skull yarn or the yarn after it. You can just jump onto the vine and go up and get like the old 1.0 yarn. That's about it.